What's up, legends? It is the start of a new week, and this is the time where I take a quick look at the charts to do a once over on all of my market cycle holds. And I thought this week, why don't I take you with me? But first things first, we need some tea. Let's get to work. Okay, so before I get into the charts, I should explain that when it comes to cryptocurrency, I have 3 different portfolios. I call these the retirement portfolio, the market cycle hodl portfolio, and then my trading portfolio. In this video today, I'm taking you through the market cycle hodl portfolio. And what that means is that these are cryptocurrencies that I am holding on through what I believe is a bull market. But when I believe the market turns around and I feel like a long-term bear market is about to come in, I won't hold these coins through a long-term bear market. Now, some of these cross over into my other portfolios, one being Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only 2 cryptocurrencies that go into my retirement portfolio. So I use the hodl portfolio to accumulate as much of them as I can throughout a bearish or bullish market so that I can funnel them off into my retirement portfolio. Other than that, nothing else sits there long term. So all of these coins that I'm about to go through today are ones that I will sell when I believe the market is about to turn. And also in addition to that, I am holding a lot more coins than what I'm going to go through in this video. The coins that I'm going through in this video are only coins that I leverage trade on Binance Coin Futures. So if you don't know, there are videos that I've done on my channel that explain the Coin Futures platform. Basically, the underlying asset that you're trading is the thing that you're accumulating, and that's why I love Coin Futures in a bull market. And what I'm about to show you is my weekly ritual. So I will do this on the weekly candle close or after the weekly candle close. I like to leave it an hour or 2 into that candle close because it's the weekly and the daily as well. And I just find an hour or so either side of the daily candle can be a little bit of manipulation. So yeah, I let the market settle a little bit and then I come and do this ritual that I'm about to show you now. So before we get into it, if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for your loyalty. And don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps to share my videos around the internet. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Turn on that bell notification so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Now, in addition to this, I am planning to film in the future a daily routine on looking for day trades. So if that's something that you would like to see, please leave me a comment in the comments box and I will get onto that for you. Now, enough of that. Let's get into the charts and have a look. Should we continue to hold on to these market cycle hodl coins or is it time to sell? Okay, so I always start with Bitcoin because he rules the market. So having a look at Bitcoin on the daily. Now, one thing that stands out to me immediately is that we have broken this bearish divergence. So that's really great for Bitcoin. Also, the MACD here on the daily is crossing up bullish and the current histogram is green. So indicator-wise looks fine. Now, last night we did break through this supply zone, which is looking great and currently looks like we are coming back to retest it. The support before that was at about 46,700 and resistance was that level that we just broke. Now, because we've broken this on a very big daily candle, there's not enough here on the actual daily for me to make any decisions. So one thing I am going to note now though is now that we have broken through that and we need to retest it, but that's going to put the next resistance level up around here. And that I do think we'll blow past it, but this has been an area of support previously, so it may act as an area of resistance now if we continue up from here. The next major level to watch out for, however, is going to be this area here. And so if we do get that retest today and then or in the next week and then push up through, I would expect that we will get to around 55,500, 56,500 next. Now, let's go down, now that we see that on the daily, looking at the 4 hour. Now, these were my thoughts last night. Now, one thing I should explain with my market cycle hodls that I trade on leverage is that I do dollar cost average into them. So I do look to add to my position on key level breakouts. So last night I was watching this, and this is actually one of my favorite patterns that pretty much always plays out. So I'm going to explain it in detail. But I was watching that we did have a little bit of an ascending triangle. We can see it better on the 1 hour. So last night I was pretty certain that we were going to break out to the upside. I didn't add to my position, however, because I wanted to get that breakout first, and I'll be looking now to add to this position on the retest. So if we go down, so the pattern that I absolutely love is the ascending triangle in a bull market. So you can see here we had the 2 touches, was waiting to see if we would get a 3rd touch, but really all I look for is a higher low, and I look for the 3 touches to the supply zone or the resistance to expect a breakout to happen next. So we had 1 touch here, 2 touches there, 3 touches there. So after the 3rd touch, I wait for the higher low, which we got here, and then the breakout. And then what adds to that is on the 1 hour, so in combination with the ascending triangle, what I love to see is what I call a W formation. So it's basically this, so basically a double bottom. However, within the double bottom, the second peak to create a higher low than the first one. So you can see here, this attempted dump down here was higher than that one. Now, once we got that, you could identify this as a 1 hour zone because this is where it wicked into. So this candle right here was the area that buyers were willing to buy. And so the fact that we got the higher low, the W within the bigger ascending triangle, then we had this 1 hour trend line forming. I was fairly certain we were going to break out overnight, and we got this breakout here. This was the retest. Now this candle at the time was ridiculously volatile and felt really uncertain. So I didn't add to my position. Usually I would add on a breakout at that point, but I didn't add because of the volatility in this candle. But I'm okay because now all I need to wait for is this retest, which looks like on the 1 hour it's kind of trying to do that. Now I don't care how low that retest goes, but wherever it finds its next higher low is where I will look to add to this position. So am I going to keep my Bitcoin long open for the moment? Absolutely yes. My original entry was 29,900, and I think my averaged entry at the moment is around 34,000. So I've got a lot of room to move to be able to add to this trade. So now that I have that detailed analysis on Bitcoin, it kind of drives the whole market. I can expect all of the altcoins to kind of follow suit, but all I'm looking for now is, should I be adding to these trades? So I'm just going to go through in order the trades that I'm in. My entries are irrelevant because these are all trades that I got into months ago, so I'm well beyond my entry. So I won't go into that much detail, but I'm just going to explain how do I make up my mind if I'm going to add to these trades or not. So with 𝗟𝗲, this is my long-term analysis, and I believe that we are potentially in a very high time frame Elliott wave, and this current push is wave 3. So wave 3 did almost wick exactly to my target, and looks like this might be the sell-off back down to wave 4, but it may not go all that way down. But so far it's playing out how it's meant to, so no need to exit that. I am happy to, if this does turn out to be an Elliott wave, I know that wave 5 is coming, which is going to take us much higher anyway, so I'm happy to ride out wave 4 wherever that lands, and continue on. And all I'm looking for now is, where is the wave 4 bottom for me to add to this position? And you can see here I've got potential wave forward retracement. That's because that will be a 38 fibs, and it will also be above wave 1 high, which is where the wave 4 retracement needs to be. So anything from where we are now down to this 2.4 level is where I'm looking to add, and I'm going to watch that on a lower time frame. I know I'm speaking really fast, but I have a lot of trades to get through, so yeah, just excuse that. You can watch this back in slow-mo if you need. So now looking at the 4 hour, yes, we've broken this trend line. Fine, because I believe that's wave 3, and this break here looks like it's potentially going to take us down somewhere around wave 4. Now that I look at this structure as well, if we get a really decent retracement, that's definitely going to be the demand zone there to watch out to add to this position. I did have a smaller trend line here which has now broken, but I'm going to have a look at the 1 hour to explain something to you. So this is the downtrend, the potential retracement. On the 1 hour here though, we have an ascending triangle that is breaking out and retesting. So that leaves me cautious at the moment. We're either going to bounce off here, in which case I'll add to my position when we bounce, or I've actually got these trend lines wrong, which is likely because it was only 2 touches when I first drew it, and now the trend is actually here. Now I think this is more likely than what I originally had, so I'm going to readjust that TA because now I have 1, 2, 3 touches to that trend line. So I do believe this will pull back more. I had an alert to go off there, but I'm actually going to put it down here now at this support and reassess there. If we hold here, break out, I'll add to my position on the breakout. If we break down further, then I'm just looking for the next levels of support. So I'm not interested in exiting ADA right now. Knowing higher time frame that I believe it's a wave 4 retracement, I can hold through even if we do come back down to that 2.5 level, and I'd actually be very happy to pick up more there. So moving on to BNB now, looking at the daily on BNB. Now with BNB, I can see on the daily that this area here is where price got stuck before, and currently it is acting as the resistance trying to push through. So that's looking fine so far. If we can get through there, then there's really nothing in the way up until where I've marked out target 3 around 600. So let's have a look at the 4 hour. Now on the 4 hour, well, you could actually call this an ascending triangle if we drew it like this. So we've got a potential similar pattern happening here, but this time we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So this is looking good. Now we just need to wait for that breakout retest. It could again come back down and create a 3rd touch to this trend line. That would line up with the 80 EMA. That yellow line is the 80 EMA, which I really like on the 4 hour time frame as a support in this current run. On a lot of coins, it's acted as a very good support. So, and it would also be the weekly candle close, that 482. So if BNB comes down to here and creates a higher low anywhere around here, that's fine. Wait for the breakout and I will add to my position. There's nothing here that's telling me I need to exit this. So either a breakout or a higher low, and I'll definitely be adding to BNB. So no need for me to exit this trade. The next one is Doge. So Doge on the daily, massive downtrend, and this was the original level here, this resistance that we needed to break. We did break it. That right there is the retest. So now this to me is definitely in an uptrend. I'm happy to keep holding Doge, and we'll reassess in a week's time. It's not going to add to this position because the time to add was on the retest. So happy to keep that one following along. Next one is DOT. So initially the breakout was we needed to get above this level here. So again, all my entries you can see on all of my charts, I've marked daily cross. You can go back and have a look at the future ones coming up. That's when the 10 and 20, so that green and red is the 10 and 20 EMA. That's when they crossed, and that is around about my entry on all of these coins, just for you, so you know my original entry. So pushed up, expected a rejection of this resistance here, which we got, came back, pushed through again. Now we're looking for the next level. On the daily, this is kind of it was a previous support, but it's not really a resistance. So 4 hour, it also is looking like a ascending triangle and has broken out. This is the current retest. So on a retest, I will look to add. Now that can either retest the resistance or it can come back down and do a 3rd touch to this trend line. So no need for me to exit DOT. Next one is EOS. So EOS, initially the area that we needed to break was this resistance here, which we did. This was the break, this was the retest. So this is plugging along amazingly. No need for me to exit EOS. Have come up to this resistance here, which is expected. So again, if we get something like this repeat here, then that's just going to be a nice trend. So that's not going to worry me at all. And that might bring us back to this trend line for another touch. If it does, will also retest this resistance. So that is where I would look to add to EOS for the next run. So I'm happy with EOS. ETC is another one, and again, you can easily identify on the daily where the key levels of resistance are. So we've hit it once here. This is the second time. We're creating high lows. It's just a really nice trend. So there's nothing for me to do here. This is how quick and easy when you're trading market cycle, hodl sort of situations. When you're trading the daily and you're just trend trading, it's so easy to manage. So this is taking me longer because I'm talking you through it, but normally this would only take me 10 minutes once a week to manage. So here I've got one touch, two touches, might come back to the trend line again. Third touch would expect us to break through. No reason for me to exit this. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, the original supply zone, look at that. It created that ascending triangle that I've talked about 50 million times in this video now. So multiple touches on the daily, would have been even more on the 4 hour. Eventually got that breakout, amazing. And now we have touched on the all-time high candle close and then did a big rejection. I think that only happened on this 𝗟𝗶𝗃 chart, to be honest. I don't think we went up that high on any other chart. However, irrelevant, the pattern is still forming. So we're close to all-time high on Ethereum. So again, no need to exit. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Now, if we did get that pullback back to this support, I wouldn't be worried. I would consider it healthy. It's about time. You know, it could even potentially only pull back to here because that is resistance support there. So that might happen. I'm not worried about this. Even if we get a more decent pullback, which I doubt we will, but if we got a more decent pullback, still not worried. My original entry on Ethereum was, see, there's the daily cross there, and it was around, I think it was after this bullish engulfing. So can easily hang on to this. I personally don't think this is going to be an Ethereum double top. I think it will be assumed that it is. So there will be a lot of bears here trying to push Ethereum down or take profits and whatnot. So I would expect that, but I'll ride that swing for me. Then the next one is Filecoin. So Filecoin went amazing. Not a big believer in this, but because it's available on Coin Futures, I thought, why not? So there was the daily cross. Now, I don't trade the daily cross. I trade the resistance breakout after the daily cross, and I will go into a full video on how I actually find these coins in a future video. But that would have been the level there that I'm in on this. The next level it needed to break was this level here, which it took its sweet time to do, but it's done it now. So we're good on Filecoin. Again, that was a big move. If it had a big retracement, I wouldn't care. All I would do if I saw this starting to retrace is just draw a high time frame fibs on it. And look, even if it came all the way back to retest this resistance, it's only going to be 38 fibs. So absolutely would not freak me out if we came back down to $90. I would just ride this wave. So File's looking good. Link was also a slow one, but we eventually got there. Now, so same thing, daily cross there. The resistance was here after the daily cross. So somewhere around here is where I'm in on this. Saw this push up, saw this flag formation, sat through it. The flag formation was a rejection of this level here, and yeah, pushed out to the upside. So happy with that. So this is just trending nicely. All that's happened so far is we've broken above this resistance here, and we're now looking like we may come back to retest it. This is a tricky zone to hold through because we've got this resistance, but then we've also got this one up here, which I'll mark out. So we're really not safe and clear on a link until we can get above that region. If we can get above there, then I would say we would get to the next target 3 to around 42. However, that doesn't mean that I think we're going to break out and go straight there. Like, I think, you know, we could easily come down, create another higher low, then break out to the upside and smash through both of those. And that would be fine. We're just riding the trend. You can see here on the daily, for as long as the price stays above and we don't get full candle closes below the red line, which is the 20 EMA, you're just riding the trend. So along this whole run here, there's been zero reason to exit from entry. And if I just measure that out, so I think I said the entry was around here on this breakout to where we are now at 66% with no need to stress along the way. So Definitely love market cycle trading. Let's have a look at LTC. So here you can see my note, retest, add more here. So this was the level that I was waiting for a breakout. We've got the breakout. That was the retest candle there. And so that was where I actually already did do this, which says add more. So I've added more to this position now. Don't really know what my average entry is, but the initial entry was breakout of around here somewhere. And now this red line here is a weekly resistance, so it makes sense that we've pushed up to it and currently going to come back to retest it. Again, as long as we now have these two touches on a higher time frame to a trend line, so we've got number 1 here, number 2 here. If we come back to create a third, it's very healthy to me. So I'm not worried about this at all. And I would expect that we would get up somewhere 281 next. So we may get a pullback, but then that should push up to 281. So no need for me to exit LTC market cycle trade yet. Theta, now Theta is one that I was watching, but I was skeptical to get in. And I'm still a little bit skeptical on it, but I did take a chance on it only because all of my other trades are so far in profit that I can now afford to open a new one. So with Theta, I didn't actually get in on this daily cross. And the reason is because it was consolidating for so long and these EMAs were really horizontal. So they weren't actually trending nicely. And we also weren't above the 80 EMA. So I did wait for this one and I didn't actually get in until we came back. So I waited for that breakout, didn't actually get in until we came back to here. So I'm only recently in on Theta. It's got a lot of room to move, but it's not risk-free for me yet, whereas all of the other ones are well and truly risk-free. However, it's now looking a little bit better and I still think it will have its time to shine. So we've now got the 1 touch, 2 touch. Yeah, just potentially will push up to here, get my 3rd touch, and then eventually break this resistance. So happy with Theta so far. XRP is the next one. And so on a higher time frame, XRP's pattern just wasn't that nice. However, it's looking a bit better now. So we sort of had this huge flag formation, but for so long we were sitting towards the real bottom end of the flag formation, as in the bottom half of it, and didn't come up to touch here again for a really long time. So it was just looking really quite ugly, and you could probably actually even clone that one. So now what ended up happening with this was I just like XRP. I just like it as a tradable coin. So I do take higher risk on XRP than other things that I trade. And that is simply because when I was learning to trade, it was the 3rd coin that I focused on. So I first focused on Bitcoin only and then got to know how Bitcoin moves really well. Then I focused on Ethereum and then XRP was my 3rd. So it's personal preference. And I'm not saying that it's a good coin for everyone to trade. It's just because I know it so well that I'm happy to take higher risks with it. So with XRP, this was the previous resistance before the big push. Even though we hadn't broken out of this, we got the daily cross that was right on that resistance. And I ended up taking an entry, I think, it was around here somewhere when we got this retest. So now I'm just managing XRP, and so I'm going to say the resistance is up here actually, because you can see here is previous support a number of times. Now we've pushed up. Now again, you can see it's starting to stand out that this is potentially, we don't have enough touches for it to be confirmed, but it's potentially an ascending triangle again. So all we're doing now is looking for that same pattern on a lower time frame, like a 4 hour. So on a 4 hour, we've got 1, 2, 3. So this is a confirmed trend line. The resistance, we've got 1, 2. It depends if you draw it to candle closes or not. If you draw it to candle closes, then we've got 1, 2, 3. And this is the 4th one. Look at that. That's the higher low right there. So yeah, this is potentially the breakout right now that may retest. So if we get a retest, I'll be looking to add to my XRP trade. Definitely no reason to exit at this point in time. And then the last one that is available in coin futures that I'm holding for this market cycle is XLM, and I also really like XLM. So again, got the bullish cross here, and XLM is one of the ones that it hasn't even got to where all of the other altcoins have gotten to already. So if we have a look at XLM, see this area of resistance that was created on nearly every coin after the big dump. A lot of the coins have passed and retested them now and started to move off. XLM hasn't got there yet. So that tells me like it's making its way, so it's healthy. We're getting this push up, pull back. So we've got 2 touches this trend line. We'd expect a 3rd push up, come back, touch it again, then the breakthrough. This one's got a lot of room to move. So yeah, just following this one along, no need to exit. I'm going to reassess when we get to that. It's either going to fail and break this trend line ahead down, that would be my exit point, or it's going to break through and we head on further, so I will add to my position and hold. Okay, now one other thing I am going to explain to you that is really important with any of these, because as you will notice, all of these charts that I just did were the USD pair of the altcoin. And when we are in a bull market, we really only want to be trading altcoins that are outperforming Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're better off just holding Bitcoin. So I'm going to look at the BTC pair of every coin that I'm trading on coin futures. And again, I don't fully chart these up. It's not important. All I'm doing is a quick scan to see if it's still bullish against Bitcoin. So looking at XRP, it is, and you know, I can literally go through these. ADA's having the pullback that it's having on the USD pair as well. So fine with that, but it's created a higher high. Now need to see if it creates a higher low. So gonna hang on to that. BNB, it's like it's consolidating, but it's trying to break out of that current resistance and creating a higher low. So happy to hold that one. Doge has had a big retracement, but this is the change in trend and the higher lows. Need to keep an eye on that one because we need to make sure that it doesn't break any further below basically this area here. If it does, it's not worth holding any further. DOT, bullish, no problem. EOS, double bottom, pushing up, new level of resistance, no problem, can hold on to that. ETC is consolidating but still creating higher lows, so can hold on to that for a bit longer, but want to make sure it doesn't change market structure. ETH BTC is bullish against Bitcoin, so we can hold that. Filecoin, bullish against Bitcoin, perfect. Link is bullish, creating higher lows, fine. LTC BTC, massive push up, fine, it's just broken through that resistance, we can keep holding. Theta BTC is creating the higher low. Now it's still got work to do though, it needs to come up to create a higher high, so we want to keep an eye on that one. XRP BTC has pushed up, created, yeah, fine, I think I went through that one anyway. XLM, it has created the higher low, now needs to create the higher high. So that's it guys, that's a simple and easy way to manage your trades when you're holding on to coins during a bull market. And again, that end part that I went through is a really important part. As you can see, they're all USD charts that I initially analyzed. It's only because I'm trading them in coin futures, and in coin futures it is the USD pair, but you need to track it against the BTC pair. That's a really important part as well. As long as it's outperforming Bitcoin, it's worth holding on to. Whatever you sell it to when you take profit is up to you, but throughout your trade needs to be bullish against Bitcoin. Otherwise, you're better off just holding Bitcoin. Now, I know this took a bit of time today in this video, but it's only because I was verbally explaining the process to you. This would take me about 10 minutes a week. So 10 minutes a week for trades that turn out to give, you know, hundreds of % profit if you're just patient is worth it, and it's so easy to track using EMAs, using a higher time frame. So again, don't forget, if you like that video, if you like that strategy and you want me to go into more detail about how I do it, please leave me a comment below and I will do a separate dedicated video on exactly how to find these coins when they're at their potential bottom, when exactly you decide to get in, and then hold it through a whole market cycle. Now, one more time guys, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you in some way, please hit that like button. It really helps this channel to grow. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell notification if you haven't already. That way you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And lastly, leave me a comment below if you would like me to cover this strategy in more detail. And before I let you go, don't forget about our crypto case competition that is running at the moment. I use this strategy to invest in 10 coins when they were at their recent lows. Some of these coins have done, many of these coins have already done over 100% return, and some of them have done multiple 100% return already. I am gifting these coins to this community. There are 5 winners. All you have to do is like and subscribe to this channel, and then head to the description of this video. Any of these videos on my channel will explain in the very first link the competition details. We just need to get to 5,000 subscribers and I can start giving those coins away. So please like, share this video, let as many people as you can know about it, and let's get to that 5,000 so that we can start giving those coins away to some lucky members of this community. And last thing before I let you go, we also have a free Discord. So again, check the description of this video and come join us for some trading fun. Now, if you do want to know more about how coin futures works on Binance, up here somewhere there should be a link to a dedicated video of explaining coin futures. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you on the next one.